really don't have access to like a mutual mute button. So, but thanks for joining us. And we just want to talk tonight about, it's our Zoom call about tower gardens and just an easy way to grow your own greens, grow your own food, and really kind of take control of your own food system. And I'm just going to go through a short slide presentation. It's not going to be very long. And then we're going to see some beautiful gardens. People are going to be sharing their gardens. So we'll get started here. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about tower gardens, and some of you may wonder, what are tower gardens? Well, it's a vertical aeroponic growing system. It's actually a very simple system. Believe me, if I can do it, anybody can do this. And it's all natural, and everything you're using and picking is vine ripened. It kind of makes you a master gardener, but don't let that scare you. It's easy to put together, literally less than 10 minutes, you can put it together. Easy to maintain, and there's no digging, no bending, and no weeding, which is what I love about it. But why do we even talk about towers? Why are we growing these systems? And part of it is what's going on in our food supply today. You know, one of the biggest causes of all the disease in the United States is we're just not getting enough vine ripened fruits and vegetables every day. And water is a problem. You know, a lot of states are really, water is a commodity. And so when we compare soil grown to tower grown, because there's no soil in the tower. So if you were going to grow 23 pounds of lettuce, it would use 71 gallons of water versus a tower garden is 3 gallons of water. So it uses much less. Some of the benefits of the tower garden are, number one, it's a source for clean food. It's more nutrient dense. Food availability, which was a big concern over this past year with everything going on with the viruses and supply chain. You get control of your food, more colorful produce, and those colors equal nutrients. Tastier and fresher smelling. So when you think about that vine ripened tomato, those are the nutrients that you're really tasting, and everything you pick off your tower, the flavor will just, you won't believe it. Who is a tower garden for? Anybody that's interested in gardening, sustainability, again, clean food, food security, education. You know, you can use the tower garden as a teaching tool. Maybe somebody's interested in health and wellness, or just eating great tasting fresh food. Oh, we got a little video here.
Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your tower garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, the nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous, providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of the plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
Okay, so you may be thinking, what can I grow in my tower? Well, these are just some of the items, and anything that grows above ground, that's not on a tree, that's on a vine or a plant, you're able to grow in your tower garden. So take a look at some of these ladies' towers. Beautiful. And everyone, that's what I love about them, is everybody's is different because everybody decides to grow different things. And they're very portable, not that you would move them from place to place, but you can get a dolly so that you can turn them and make sure that they're in the sun, but it's something very easily movable. Now we talked about water. The tower garden uses 98% less water than traditional gardening. It recycles the water and the nutrients. It uses 90% less land. And so it's a small footprint because you're growing vertically. And so it easily fits on maybe a balcony, or, mine goes on my patio. In the wintertime, it goes in my living room. And we have two options. One is the Tower Garden Flex. This is the bigger of the two. It's only 2.5 feet wide, and it grows 20 full-size plants. And when you purchase the tower, it comes with everything you need to get it up and running. And then we have the Tower Garden Home. Now you can put lights on either model. This one has a smaller footprint. It's only 2 feet wide, and it grows 32 plants. So it's 16 full-size plants and 16 smaller or microgreens. And this is just a side-by-side comparison. Again, some more beautiful towers. So what if you had a juicing tower? I like to grow things. I go out on my patio in the morning. I pick my kale, my spinach, celery, and then that just goes right into my smoothie in the morning, or maybe onto your salad, or like a pot of soup. But you can do juicing towers, you can do herb towers, you could do different themes. This is my tower last summer. And this is how they start out. And I'm in Michigan, we'll be starting ours pretty soon, but the tower garden grows 3 times faster than traditional gardening. So within 3 or 4 weeks, you're actually eating off your tower. Gardening is cheaper than therapy, and you get tomatoes. So we're going to stop the screen there. Okay. And we're going to go over to Janie, and she's going to show us what she has growing. Janie's in
everybody.
Chicago.
What was that? Yes, I'm in Chicago. So about an hour west of Chicago. So the whole northern Illinois area. If you're within an hour, you just say you're from Chicago, because people know that, right? Anyhow, welcome everybody to our Tower Tuesday, where we're talking about one of our favorite things.
Let's go.
And on mine, I have both. I have a Tower Garden Flex, which is the bigger one with the 3-foot wide footprint of a base. I have that outside. Those are really ideal for outside because they hold more water. So in case it's windy, they'd be very less likely to tip over. Whereas this Tower Garden Home, which I have inside and I love it, but to put it outside, you could, but it would just be a little bit higher likelihood of it tipping over because it's up on wheels and it only holds 13 gallons of water. So it has less weight in the base. And so again, I have my Flex outside and I have the Home version inside my home. And I love it actually. They, right now I have growing some chard. I have some rainbow chard down lower and some regular chard up here and lots of basil. Actually, I just gave it a massive haircut. I had way too much basil actually. So pesto tonight and I'm giving some away. So I'm excited about that. And then I actually have some green onions growing. I don't know that you can see it. Here, you probably see better now. So here's my onions. So you just take a green onion that you buy like for dinner, and you're gonna chop off and throw away those roots anyhow at the bottom of it. So instead of throwing them away, I stick them in a cell. And then I just gave these a haircut too, but there's some 3 massive onions. They just grow, and then I harvest the greens to put on my salad and stuff. And then eventually I'll pull out the actual onion itself. And I've got some cilantro, and I thought I had some kale, but I don't see that right now. But yeah, I absolutely love it. And also I shut off my lights because otherwise you would be blinded right now. They're very bright, but they're flexible. So, you know, if you have to move it around, it's nice. This Tower Garden home has wheels just built into the bottom, so it moves very easily. And it also has a nice little water indicator. It's the stick that comes up above, up on the top, and it has lines on it. And so as the water gets lower in the basin, when you see that the water has gotten like halfway down is when I actually refill it. Then that's just that makes it easier to keep track of it. It's not hard on any of them because there's a little door that you just open and take a peek and see how much water's in there. But I really am kind of spoiled with that little indicator. It just makes things so much easier. And there's timers for the lights as well as for the pump, because the pump shoots the nutrients up the center, just like that video showed that Lydia had mentioned. So anyhow, yeah, I love my Tower Garden home. We've been eating off of it for a year now, because I got this one last year, and then I've had my outside one for several years. But up north here, you can really only garden like maybe 4 months out of the year outside. So I'm just so grateful to be growing food year round. It's such a cost savings for our family, and we're eating vine ripened and fresh year round. So I love it.
Awesome, thank you. All right, and that's beautiful. All right, so where's Patty?
I'm here.
Patty's in Michigan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Patty Thibodeau, and I'm on my patio here in Plymouth, Michigan. And I'm hoping that my teeth won't chatter during my presentation here because it's only 50 degrees. And this is why we wait so long to get our tower gardens out here in Michigan, because we do have a later start to spring and warmer weather. However, this next week is promising. It's going to be in the 60s and 70s. So I think it's going to be a really good time to get my tower garden up and running. So you can see it behind me. So it's in its infancy. There's nothing in it yet. But I planted these seeds about 2.5 weeks ago, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to plant one of these. So when you get your tower garden kit, you receive rock wool and seeds and vermiculite to get your seeds going. And you might be wondering, how do I know when the seedlings are ready to go into the tower? So can you see how tall my seedlings are? They're about 2 inches tall. So that means that they're ready to go. And another thing to look at is underneath, you can see the roots are poking through the bottom. So they're definitely ready to go. And then I've got some kale, romaine lettuce, and arugula started here in my tray. And all you do is take a pair of scissors and you cut the rock wool. So I'm just gonna snip it. They kind of already are a little bit pre-separated. And then your kit, your tower garden kit, comes with these nice little pots, so to speak, but they have a lot of openings in them so that when you plant your seedling in there, the roots can get through and get nourished. So I already put one of these things in the tower garden, and you just plop it in there. Easy peasy, it's done. So in about, probably like Lydia said, 3 to 4 weeks, it'll be large enough to start eating off of. And Lydia, you did mention that, you can have the option of buying a dolly with the Tower Garden Flux. Here in Michigan, I would definitely recommend that you get the dolly, because say I get my tower garden all planted and it's been, the nights have been warmer than 40 degrees, but then it's not surprising here in these upper states to get a night that's going to be down in the 30s. You don't want to leave your tower garden out. So you can either throw a sheet over it, or I just wheel mine into my garage and save it from getting frostbite. So that's how easy it is to start your tower garden. I'm going to send it back to you, Lydia.
Great, thanks, Patty. And that looks, I can't wait to get mine started. And I know you were out of town, you got back today and you just put that together. How long did that take you?
It took 10 minutes total.
That's
And
amazing.
I kind of did it in between doing laundry and unpacking. It was really easy to do. So yeah, it's easy. I'm not mechanically inclined, but I put mine together and take it apart all the time. I thought, you know what? I need to, you need to know how to do it if you want to share it with people. And it's really easy to do.
Yeah. All right. I can't wait to get ours started. So. All right, great. Thanks, Patty. Okay, next we're going to go down south to Karen. Karen, where are you?
I am here. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, there you are. Right.
Okay, as long as everybody can hear me, okay. Okay, so I was gonna try and be on my phone so I could turn it around, but it looks like this is good enough. So I wanna thank Janie and Patty for doing all the hard work and giving you all of the details, and Lydia too. So I just get the fun part of telling you that there's no bigger skeptic than I was when the company introduced us. And so I also want to tell you that, we're a part of a community that inspires healthy living, focusing on whole food nutrition in a capsule, in a gummy, and also in the Tower Garden. I never had luck in Florida. I was in Florida for 25 years, and my poor husband, every year we would try and grow a garden, and I would say that we had the healthiest rats ever because we never got anything off of it, never got a tomato, never anything. And so when the company introduced the Tower Garden, I just kind of rolled my eyes and I thought, oh my gosh, here we go again. Now I'm going to pay money to have, animals eat my produce. So I actually, when I ordered it, I didn't tell any of my customers. I didn't tell anybody about it because I thought I want to make sure that I can grow on this. I want to make sure that this actually works before I start telling people about this because I do not have a green thumb at all. So it was my big joke that I tell everybody is this grows despite me. I am the worst gardener. Okay. This is just to tell you that you don't have to do everything perfect. So I should balance the pH more often. I don't do that every time. I forget to put the tonic stuff in there. In Florida, I would drive up. I have a flex in my front yard and I have this is actually the home. That's what I should have mentioned. So I'm quite the rebel, Janie, because I put my home one outdoors. I'm going to live on the edge and see if it survives out here. I just pulled it out of my my office last week, as a matter of fact. So one of the things that I love about it is that it grows despite me. It has run out of water. I come home, all the plants are limp and sad, and then I fill it up with water, plug it in, and then they all have come back to life. So when I say it grows despite me, it's the truth. So I don't know if you guys can see, but I have the rainbow chard, which I never ate before I grew a Tower Garden, never. I have kale, I have a ton of basil, I have celery that's growing, I have parsley, I have mint growing up there, I have, oh my gosh, cilantro, I have cucumbers starting, I have tomatoes starting. So you'll see that the tower doesn't have to be all or nothing, right? Like some of this stuff, when you plant it, my kale and my Swiss chard can just keep growing and growing, and you can take some of the leaves off of it and it'll keep growing. Some of the empty ports that are there were lettuces and I've eaten them, and now I've decided I'm going to make my flex tower in the front full of just lettuces, and I wanted to do some of the cucumber, some of the viney stuff out back. So I also have some arugula up there. I've got some amaranth. I've got, I can't remember if I said celery. So I try to do a whole tower full of different stuff, but I also have kohlrabi. It's around the other side. I don't know. I don't think you can see it. So it's so cool to be able to grow so many different things and save so much money. I call this my money tree, right? Like you're saving so much by not having to go to the grocery store to buy the greens, a lot. You're still going to have to go buy apples. You're still going to have to go buy, some of that stuff. But to be able to know where your food comes from, to be able to know that it's, that it truly is organic, because the Tower Garden is, the plastic is UV protected. It's, food grade plastic, so it's safe. I spray it only with neem oil. I've never used pesticides. So I just know that, what our family is getting is so much better than what we get at the grocery store. And it also tastes so much better. I wish you guys, this was like a scratch and sniff Zoom and even a taste, because the basil is amazing, is just amazing. So I don't know if anybody has any questions. we obviously all love our tower gardens. If anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask them.
I do have a question. Because I know I've left my tower for like 10 days and it, I come back, it still has water. How long did you leave your tower for it to run out of water?
Well, in South Florida, though, you have to remember it gets really hot, and especially in the summertime. I mean, I was filling up 20 gallons of water once a week.
So that's not bad. But that's good.
Yeah, but life gets busy.
I know, that's what I love about it is literally it's gardening for dummies. I hate to say that because it's state of the art, but I'm not a gardener. And here's the thing, there's a lot of different reasons to have a tower garden. For me, I've got some health issues, some physical issues. I cannot get down on the ground and be digging and weeding. I would never be able to do it. So that's what makes the tower so easy is if you have any physical limitations, you can still have a garden. That's just one of the reasons. So.
Yeah. And I will also say I have people in Florida. A lot of people I never had the rats. I never had anything come eat food off of my tower. And in Florida, we have a lot of iguanas. I know those they would never survive in Michigan or Chicago, and they never touched the tower garden. What I tell people is I can't explain exactly why, except that maybe because it's up on this big plastic thing and maybe the running water kind of scares them. I'm not sure. So when I moved to Georgia, people now have a concern of, what about the deer? And we have a fenced in yard, so we don't get deer. And so I've asked several different people and they've said, no, I haven't had an issue with deer in my tower garden. So I really do. You're going to get little bugs. If it's outdoors, you're going to get some little bugs, but that's why you do the neem oil. But I have never had an issue with other bigger critters eating any of my produce, which has been awesome.
And I think a lot of it's maybe the electricity because my yard is overrun with squirrels and bunnies. They've literally eaten through all my cars. And they've never touched my tower garden. And you saw my tower. I mean, I have cucumbers that cascade down the patio and they don't go near it. So I think they can sense the electricity or something, like I said, the pump or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's like a buffet for squirrels and rabbits.
Does anybody have any issues with bugs in the house when they have their tower garden inside?
You can get bugs in the house with the tower garden inside. That was the biggest, I think, surprise to me, unfortunately. And it's not a lot of bugs, but it's mostly aphids. I think those little stinking aphids are so small and they're also, oh my gosh, what's the word? They are asexual, right? So you don't need a male and a female. It's all you need is one and they just multiply. So the biggest thing you can do with your tower garden that I learned by trial and error is to harvest it. The more you harvest it, bugs don't come on healthy plants. So, when I have gone on vacation and I haven't been there, right? I haven't been there to harvest it. I haven't been there to watch it. A lot of times I will come back and sometimes there's bugs on them. And this is one that was outside. So just make sure you're harvesting it and there's less bugs. And then like the cucumbers and the tomatoes, you can get worms, those big disgusting worms. You just check on the undersides of the leaves. And as long as you're checking, it shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, they can get inside.
I have not had any problem with bugs. A friend told me a long time ago, because I'm doing my indoor one for the past year. And she said a long time ago, it's really important if you're going to have it inside, especially to plant from seed rather than getting plants in from like a greenhouse or something, because you're a lot more likely to have bugs if you're buying in plants from a greenhouse. So now we do have special greenhouses that we can buy seedlings from specifically for the tower garden in Rockwell, since there is no dirt in here. But as I said, I've been growing from seed myself, just like we had showed you earlier with Patty's nice little seedling tray. And luckily I haven't had a problem with bugs. So that's good.
Yeah, I grow from, and I wonder whether that depends on where you are, because I'm in a warmer area, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
And I will say it's a lot less. It's not like you're definitely gonna have bugs, but but you can. So I don't want to tell anybody that you definitely would never get bugs. You can, especially because if you keep your door open, they can get through screens. They can, with the door open and closing, they can get in.
And I don't have a lot of houseplants either. So maybe that makes a difference. I don't know. My kids have allergies. That's the whole reason that I found out about this community in the first place, was to, to help them get healthier through either the Juice Plus capsules and soft chews or this way too. So.
Okay, great.
Does anybody have any, sorry?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, did anybody have any other questions? I haven't been checking the chat.
I'm in the chat. No, nobody else has
I
any
got a
questions.
question. I'm sorry. My name is Sheila and I live in Texas. And lady, I thank you for talking about the squirrels, because my mom, she's got a ton of squirrels. But my question is mosquitoes. Is there something that you can grow on the tower garden that will rid mosquitoes? My mom's got a ton of mosquitoes in her house.
Well, here in Michigan, I mean, I really think the basil helps with the mosquitoes, and you can do like lemon balms. So there are plants that you can grow to help with the mosquitoes. And I'm telling you, you just touch that basil plant and the smell emanates. It's amazing. So I think that helps. Somebody said lavender, mint. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that you
Look,
can.
thank you so much.
Sure, absolutely.
I know somebody said they had questions.
Okay, somebody said citronella and tansy.
Yes, definitely citronella.
Yeah, and people grow that too. All right.
I thought somebody put
Yeah, I
in
had a
questions, no?
yeah, I had a question. I put it in the chat there. This is Michael. I've had the tower garden from Lydia for about 9 months now, and been experimenting with it to try to produce enough lettuce and vegetables to sustain the salads we have at dinner time. And what I'm finding is, we'll plant 5 or 6 lettuce plants, and we consume it probably within a month, and then I guess then we have to replace those plants and put new ones, right? And I'm trying to figure out, it's going to take, you're going to have to constantly, I mean, basically every time you eat a lettuce, you'll have to have another one growing, right? In the pods, in the little pods. I'm just trying to figure out a plan to really be able to sustain and provide all of our lettuce and for our salads. But I got one tower. I guess I'm going to have to fill it all up with lettuce, right? Just thinking out loud here.
So when you're harvesting your lettuce, you don't want to cut the whole head. I mean, there's some certain kinds of lettuce where you do that, but you just want to trim the outer leaves. So if you have like 5 or 6 kinds of lettuce growing and you pick the outer leaves because it grows from the inside, the middle outward, you'll have enough for a bowl of lettuce, and then it'll keep propagating. That lettuce should be growing for you at least for 4 or 5 months, I would say. It'll keep giving
Well,
you.
I'm doing something wrong, Lydia. You need to come over and take a look, because I've been doing that, and
Okay.
it seems to be when I grab the lettuce from the outside and I grab the biggest leaves, right?
Right.
And I called actually the tower garden lady. She said you got to replace the plants after a while. And I'm kind of curious what is the recommendation as far as, you're saying 4 months? I doubt you can get 4 months on one lettuce plant, but maybe I'm doing something wrong.
So when your lettuce is ready to be replaced, there's something called bolting. It'll like have a shoot, and then it's time. And I even still eat off of it after it's bolted, but that's about the time to pull it out and put a new one in. So, but yeah, I'm going to come over and take a look at yours, Michael.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I just want to get the sustainability. I want to be able to not go buy lettuce at the store,
You guys are eating
but
a
I'm
lot
not
of green.
there yet.
Great.
Yeah. Thanks.
Good.
I have a question. Are you able to propagate lettuce? I go to the store and I'll buy organic romaine, but I have actually cut off the ends and put it in soil and watched it regrow in the soil. Is that something you can do at the tower garden as well?
I've never tried it with lettuce because I have hundreds of seeds, so I'm always just popping more seeds in. So coming back to the lettuce, lettuce is one of those plants that you do have to plant more often, as opposed to kale and Swiss chard. Those things can grow for like 8 months or longer. So a lot of times when I'm about a month in on the lettuce, I'm sometimes starting new seedlings in another rock wool just so I have enough lettuce. But I've never, so I am doing what Jamie was doing with like the green onions is I'm putting the bottoms of those in to grow in my tower, but I've never done it. I mean, I've done it in a bowl of water and I've seen that happen, but I've never used it for the tower garden.
I've done it with celery because my
Yeah.
celery starts growing, I'll split it and then I'll plant a new, a new pot of that. So
Mhm.
that's a good point too, is, if you're going through a lot of lettuce, just start always have new seedlings going. But, I guess it depends on the size of your family and how much you're going through too, but we always have more than enough. Yeah. Anybody else?
I had a question about, did you mention like the cost per year to actually have a tower garden compared to the cost of like buying produce, or like a breakdown per month? Or
I know there's a chart out there that shows the comparisons. I really don't go by that. I think, to me, you can't compare vine ripened produce because unless you're growing it yourself, you just can't get that, so, but one of the things though too is for the payment for, if you purchase a tower, we have easy pay options, it's just an easy way to work it out for you, and just depends on, what tower you go with. So, but I know there is a chart that we can find, Elena, that I can share that with you. But I think they say the tower pays for itself in like, depending on how much you use it, like 6 to 9 months.
that's what I remember seeing, yeah, as well. So
Yeah.
I just wanted
Thank
to,
you.
didn't know if you had a slide on that, but we can, yeah, I can find that if anybody wanted to see that as well.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that
I
out.
tell you, the biggest advantage for me, quite honestly, is the herbs. Because I don't know if anybody uses herbs when you're cooking, right? But if you go to the grocery store, so unless you are growing your own herbs and they're live in the ground, if you go and you're just buying some of them and you only need like a tablespoon, the rest of them go in the fridge and they're bad and slimy within 2 days. So these are amazing because you just cut off what you need, and and it continues to grow. Like a lot of times I actually have too much. There was one year I had so much parsley, I actually had caterpillars on them. I forget what kind of caterpillars, but they were, I don't know, zebra wing or something. And I just was like, you know what, take some because I've got too much.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's no waste. Like if you go buy, especially greens and salad greens, you buy a big tub of it and then within 3 days it's slimy and you're throwing the whole tub away. And the tower, you pick it when you need it. So, and then if you do store it in the fridge, it lasts so much longer because it's been so fresh. All right, great question so far. Anybody else?
I actually had another question. So when you buy the garden, it comes with everything that you need. So it does come with some seeds, and then does it actually come with the nutrients as well?
It comes with the nutrients. Yes, it comes with the rock wool, little tray to get it started. There's vermiculite because you put the seeds in the rock wool and then you just put a little bit of vermiculite in it. It's very easy to do. And
the pH test kit as well.
yeah,
Oh,
I
great.
about that because I don't ever test my pH. I'm like, Karen. Right. Thank you. It does come with the pH. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Yeah. And
Where's the best place to get? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Where's the best place to get the seeds and those what is it? What do they call those organic pods there that have some fiber to them?
So the rock wool you can order right from Tower Garden, and seeds, you can buy organic seeds anywhere. Like you could, especially this time of year, we can buy them at Home Depot, and it's just any variety that you want. But everything I grow on there is organic. You can order seedlings that are started in the rock wool, or you can start your own with the seeds. But like I said, you can buy it anywhere.
What's the pods called again? Those you said called Rockwells?
Rock wool.
Rock wool.
And the purpose
you got it. You can only buy that online. There's no place you can buy it locally.
I've never looked locally. Aeroponics, it's not, I mean, why would you use that unless you're growing aeroponically? So I don't know. how common that is. Like I said, this is state of the art. It was started by Tim Blank, who worked at Disney. He was at Epcot. So, and the Rockwell is very cheap. Like I think it's, I don't know, maybe $20 for 100 of them, something like
You-
that.
you can get it.
replace them.
Yeah, you can get it locally. There are a lot of hydroponic growing stores
Oh, that's
around. So you can get it locally. Just
okay.
if you looked up, hydroponic store on your phone, you could find something pretty close.
So,
Around me, I tried to find some and I couldn't. So it's just so easy to order through your distributor and just get it straight from the company. That's what I've found, because I have spent time trying to find it in the past and I couldn't find it. And so it's like, this is just so easy if I just place an order through Juice Plus Tower Garden and again, through your distributor, just contact your distributor and they'll be happy to get that set up for you.
I wanted to also let everybody know that we have a great resource on Facebook. There's a Facebook group that is specific to Tower Garden people. So you can post questions, people share information. I have found it to be a great resource, and I've learned a ton of stuff just by reading people's questions and the comments that are put in there to answer the questions. So just to ask the person that you buy your Tower Garden from to get you connected to that Facebook group.
Yeah, that was super helpful for me too. They've got videos and just lots of information. Tim Blank posts a lot of stuff in there to educate people on the videos. So it's great.
Right. That's a good point. And one thing we really didn't mention is Tower Gardens in schools, because a lot of schools are using them. It meets all the STEM requirements, so they're using them in the classrooms. And one of the universities came up with a whole teaching curriculum that's available for teachers too. So just something, if you know of anybody that's working in a school or affiliated with schools, that's also something to consider.
And our
There's
company,
businesses.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, we could talk for hours about this. You guys are just going to have to leave the meeting.
Yeah.
But our company is so amazing. Jay Martin, the president and founder of Juice Plus, and, which eventually he added Tower Garden to it, is so amazing that I don't know how many years ago it was, I guess maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where he has been such a big part of the Boys and Girls Club in Memphis, Tennessee, that our company has actually donated one Tower Garden to, I think it's about 400 Boys and Girls Clubs across the country for free.
Yeah, and he's made a commitment to get him in all the Boys and Girls Clubs around America. So, which is pretty awesome. It's such a company with a heart. We could go on and tell you all the cool things that Jay Martin has done for us and for all our customers. Giving free Juice Plus to children ages 4 through college age. That's a whole nother talk, but that's just one more example of how generous he is. So our company is all about helping families thrive, and the Tower Garden is one awesome way to help with that too.
Thank you. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. If you have any questions or want more information about the Tower Garden, please feel free to reach out to the person that invited you tonight. If you are interested in our Juice Plus capsules, it's just juicing in a capsule, fruits and vegetables, children and adults. Maybe again, reach out to the person that invited you, or, also think about joining our community. If you want some information about that, we would love to share. So thank you all for joining, and hope you guys happy gardening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.